Today on Playmakers, we have the inside scoop on KU spring sports and how they are performing through the midst of their seasons. As Formula One approaches a major milestone, we have what to expect for this season with major changes happening on the track. And as the Sweet 16 continues, the madness is far from over, and we break down the slate of today's games. I'm Emma Hale, your host for today, and welcome back to Playmakers. Just a little over an hour ago, Kansas basketball had their first player officially enter the transfer portal. Forward Zach Clements plans to use his last year of eligibility elsewhere. We often shine the spotlight on the athletes' achievements, but there's a vital team making sure they perform at their best level. One of those key figures is athletic trainer Taylor Hines here at the University of Kansas. Kara Lyons takes us behind the scenes to see how Taylor is helping keep these athletes in top shape.
We've all witnessed the greatness of KU athletes in the spotlight, under pressure, and with roaring crowds cheering them on. What we don't see is the work that these athletes put in behind the scenes. It's all thanks to strength and conditioning coaches like Taylor Hines that help get these teams one step closer to making that championship dream and goal a reality.
Hines has been a Jayhawk for just under 3 years and works with the soccer and swim and dive team here at KU. She was a history and pre-law double major at first, but found out that was not her calling. Hines was a swim and dive student athlete in college, and after working with her strength and conditioning coach at that time, she discovered this was the career for her.
I didn't realize that this was even a profession that you could do, and I think I was really inspired by her and the rest of the staff's commitment to really trying to get athletes to express the athleticism that they had, but then also all the different ways that you could support and train athletes.
Hines originally worked as the men's soccer strength and conditioning coach at Loyola University Chicago. During that time, Stuart Young, KU assistant sports performance coach, and Hines Olympic weightlifting coach, recommended that she take a look at an opening position at KU.
After that interview with the whole staff, I was like, I can't walk away from this. This is kind of everything I wanted, and I didn't know it.
Hines is kept busy throughout the day, but it follows a consistent schedule. Swim and dive in the morning, personal training in the early afternoon, and soccer in the late afternoon. When working with the athletes, the collaboration between Hines and the coaching staff helps Hines to create an effective training plan that helps push and prepare the athletes.
It's the combination of what do the coaches want, what are athletes capable of doing, and then how do I bridge the gap.
While in-season training is important, off-season is really where athletes can take that big step forward in the weight room.
And I think that's where a lot of athletes misunderstand a little bit. The off-season, it sounds like, oh, you're off, so it doesn't matter. But if there is ever a time to shine, that is our time to shine. This is our best opportunity to really be able to take whatever deficits you as an athlete have, and that's our time to really develop them and grow them. Your off-season doesn't actually mean it's going to be easy. But athletes who sign up for that and show up for that usually get a lot out of their off season.
Hines has created an ideal environment for her athletes, one that is not only fun but also gets them to the next level. Looking for ways to strengthen her teams, especially soccer, helps reaffirm Hines in her role on the team.
Being ranked 12th in the Big 12 at the beginning of their season, and then at the end of the season we go and we win the entire tournament, right? It really makes me feel like I myself made enough of the right decisions to support them and to support our staff that we achieved the biggest goal that you could ask for.
For Playmakers, I'm Kara Lyons.
Thank you, Taylor and Kara. Switching over to the green, both the men's and women's golf teams are on their final stretch of their seasons. Let's check in with Emily Sutter for the latest updates.
Thanks, Emma. We're only a few tournaments out from the Big 12 championship for the men's and women's side of golf. Both teams have good momentum pushing them into the Big 12s, and we can't ignore how much success the women's team has had up until this point. The women have won 5 of the 8 tournaments they've competed in so far and recently finished second in the Yale Invitational. The team is currently ranked 21st overall, so they'll be vying for wins against Arizona State, Arizona, and TCU, who all rank higher than the Jayhawks nationally. In the Yale Invitational, senior Lauren Clark absolutely killed it, finishing 12 under. This was huge as she now is the third golfer in program history to win 3 or more tournaments in a single season. She took the UCF Challenge, Wisconsin Westbrook Invitational, and now the Yale Invitational. Here's what she had to say about her big win.
Biggest shout out is to Kansas and to our amazing fans that traveled halfway across the country for us. You know, it's so nice to have galleries coming out supporting us, especially on their time off.
Winning is on par with the men's team as well. Gunnar Broin secured his first collegiate victory at the Johnny O at Sea Island tournament. After the final round was canceled, Broin was in the lead and secured the win after 2 rounds. The team ended up tying for 5th, but this tournament was a success for Broin and junior Will King as King made his return from an injury earlier in the season. There's still time for the men to secure a win. We can see the team on the 31st in Arizona, teeing off in the Cowboy Classic and in the Hawkeye Intercollegiate in Iowa City, the last tournament before the conference championship. The women are in Phoenix today through Sunday for the ASU Ping Invitational. Both men's and women's Big 12s are in late spring, so expect some good things from the golfers next month. There's everything you need to know going into the end of the golf seasons. Emma, let's swing it back over to you.
Thanks, Emily. Over to the Diamond. Both KU baseball and softball are in the midst of their spring seasons, and this weekend, both teams are back at home with big matchups. Emma Noble joins us in the studio with the latest.
Yeah, that's right, Emma. What a week of ball we have had. Our Kansas baseball and softball teams are in full swing with their season, racking up big headlines and even making some history. Let's get into this KU Diamond recap. First, on the softball side of things, Wednesday of this week, the Hawks wrapped up a dominant game against our good old rivals, one state east, the Missouri Tigers. In a 3-0 sweep, the Jayhawks performed with 3 things that were key in this series win: strength, technique, and confidence. Right off the bat, leadoff hitter Presley Limbo made contact, took to first, and the energy, it was immediately up from there. Infielder Haley Kripe matched her teammates' energy and sent a ball to the back of the ballpark in the top of the first, totaling 3 runs at the top of the game, and the chemistry just kept brewing. We saw great plays being made from the mound as well, with true freshman pitcher Kaylee Washington. She pitched a season high of 7 innings during this game, allowing 0 runs and 3 strikeouts. Seamless, athletic plays on defense from infielders Haley Kripe and Emma Tatum helped clutch this win for the Hawks as well. I'll just tell it how it is. The Hawks, they were playing some ball in Columbia, and they're not done yet. They currently have a winning record of 14-12 and are set to take on the Texas Tech Red Raiders in a Big 12 series today through Sunday, just down the road here in Lawrence at Arocha Ballpark. Go ahead and stop by if you're free. All right, now on to a team that's making headlines and history. Yeah, that's right, KU baseball. The team has been having quite an unforgettable season. Crank the hog. It's a saying you've probably heard a lot recently, but rightfully so, and here's why. Just before spring break, the Jayhawks made NCAA history, tying with the most home runs hit back-to-back in college baseball history. The Hawks hit 5 out-of-the-park home runs, and when I tell you this was everywhere, it was on ESPN, The Athletic, even the MLB, they were all showing love for this history-making team. The Hawks even saw themselves ranked in the top 25 as number 22, the first time they've been ranked since 2014. Now, in more recent games, the Jayhawks are still on a strong stretch, clutching a midweek sweep against St. Thomas earlier this week. They currently have a winning record of 20-6 and have lost only 2 out of 9 home games this year. Their next opponent is Oklahoma State, and the first game of that series is tonight at 6 p.m. at Hoagland Ballpark, and rumor has it it's Dollar Dog Night. That's all the ball talk from me, a lot going on, but I know the other Emma is a big baseball softball fan. E. Hale, you excited for all this upcoming conference play?
Thanks, Emma. I'm rooting for wins all around this weekend, so can I say both? Stick around from the latest from the pro sports world when we return.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. the University of Kansas. A great place to be you.
Breaking news out of the NBA, Memphis Grizzlies head coach Taylor Jenkins was fired this morning after 6 seasons with the team. The Grizzlies are now 44-29 and sit in 5th in the Western Conference. A replacement has not yet been named. Yesterday marked MLB opening day. 28 of the 30 teams were in action, and one of those teams is the Baltimore Orioles. Outfielder Tyler O'Neill homered in his 6th straight home opener, adding on in yesterday's game against the Blue Jays. Talk about a way to start off the season. Formula One is celebrating a big milestone this season with its 75th anniversary, and it's already shaping up to be a thrilling year with some major changes on the track, including unexpected team moves and dramatic race outcomes. This season is anything but predictable. Lily Hennick is here to dive into the latest twists and turns in the world of F1. Lily, what do you have for us?
A lot has changed in Formula One since 1950. The 2025 season marks the 75th anniversary of Formula One, presenting an opportunity to highlight the evolution of the sport. F1's pursuit of performance has driven innovation, reshaping everything from engine placement to weight distribution, aerodynamics, and safety. Today's cars are full of advanced aerodynamic and safety tech are unrecognizable from the originals, including speeds which now reach upwards of 230 miles per hour. And what would the 75th anniversary season be without complete chaos erupting into just the 3rd race of the season? After a groundbreaking shift from Mercedes to join the mecca of racing that is Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton finally got the start he wanted in a red suit. Well, what he thought. At the Chinese Grand Prix, Lewis Hamilton set the tone early in Shanghai by following up a sprint qualifying pole position with an impressive win in the sprint race. However, the success did not translate into Sunday's Grand Prix, which he finished 6th on the track before he and his teammate Charles Leclerc were disqualified for technical infringements. To break it down into simpler terms, the plank underneath the car that normally wears during sessions was found to be half a millimeter below the limit. For context, the margin was thinner than this ID. Next weekend marks the 3rd race in Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. Red Bull, who originally dominates the field as we all know, is having a rather underwhelming start to the season. Verstappen and Liam Lawson have failed to uphold the domination from the previous season. There is certainly no escaping the fact that Lawson's 2 race weekend appearances were disastrous. The qualifying results of 18th, 20th, and 20th, which happens to be the worst sequence for a Red Bull driver in the team's 20-year history. In sharp contrast, Max Verstappen did not qualify outside the grid's top 2 rows at either race and recorded finishes of 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in the same car. In such a disastrous start for Lawson, Red Bull themselves decided to make the situation even more disastrous by replacing Liam Lawson with Yuki Tsunoda, with Lawson returning to Racing Bulls, the juniors company team. Tsunoda will make his start at his home circuit of Suzuka and become Verstappen's 3rd teammate across the past 4 seasons. And just when you thought it couldn't get more disastrous for this team, Lawson was made aware of the switch from social media, not his own team. Going into the 3rd race, McLaren and Lando Norris topped the constructors and drivers' standings. It's lights out midnight Central Time next Sunday for the Japanese Grand Prix for what is hopefully yet another exciting race. From the grid to the ice, let's see what else is in store for us today.
That's right, the NHL regular season is wrapping up, and that means playoff spots are filling fast. Lily Schutzenhofer brings us up to speed with all the NHL action as we head into the final stretch of the season.
That's right, Emma. This season of NHL action has flown by, and now we are under a month away from the playoffs. The top divisional spots and wildcard races are coming down to the wire as teams are starting to secure their spots. Let's do a lap around the league to check in with the standings. In the Atlantic, the Toronto Maple Leafs, Florida Panthers, and Tampa Bay Lightning are clawing at each other for number 1. With each team having played 71 games so far, there's no telling who will end up on top. In the Retro, things are not as close. The Washington Capitals have punched their card to the playoffs, leading the league with 103 points. On top of that great record, there's another record looking to be broken. The Great 8, Alexander Ovechkin, is racing to beat the Great 1, Wayne Gretzky's all-time goals scored. Ovechkin scored his career 889th goal this week, sitting 6 goals back from passing Gretzky's 894 goals. Amazing. Back to the Metro race. Far behind the Caps are the Carolina Hurricanes and the New Jersey Devils. The Eastern wildcard race is looking up for Canadians, with the 79-point Ottawa Senators in first, followed by the 75-point Montreal Canadiens in second. But that second spot is not secure yet because the New York Islanders, New York Rangers, and Columbus Blue Jackets are all within 1 to 3 points behind. Keep your head on the swivel in the East. Over to the West, the Central Division is locked up by the Winnipeg Jets, who punched their ticket this week, followed by the Dallas Stars and Colorado Avalanche. The Pacific's being held strong by the Vegas Golden Knights, with the Los Angeles Kings and Edmonton Oilers fighting over second, and who will get a home ice advantage in that potential series. The Western wildcard race is becoming wild, with the Minnesota Wild in first, followed closely by a hot St. Louis Blues team on a 7-game win streak. But, as usual, the Vancouver Canucks, Calgary Flames, and Utah Hockey Club are not far behind. As they say, it's the most wonderful time of the year to be a hockey fan. Keep a close eye on those standings and record-breaking goal races as the NHL regular season is coming to a close.
Thanks, Lily. Now, from one league to the next, the NFL offseason is nothing short of busy as the free agency frenzy is taking over. Big moves are being made as teams look to strengthen their rosters for next season. Barry Anderson is here with the latest on all the big signing and shifts in the league.
That's right. We have a lot of things that has happened earlier this month, putting some surprises on people's faces. For instance, wide receiver Davante Adams going to the Rams to pair up with Puka Nacua. You know how good Stafford can get when he has a true number one wide receiver. Or for instance, Stephon Diggs, who got signed to the Patriots last week. Drake May now is a veteran receiver, and even if you're not a fan of this team, you can't wait to see what May can bring to the table in Foxborough. Now, what I'm really here to talk about is the 3 winners of free agency so far. First team up is the Denver Broncos. If you look at this graphic here, you can see the extra defensive key additions they have added. 2 good ex-San Francisco 49ers players who were once a part of a great defense, Dre Greenlaw and Salona Hufanga. They also re-signed DJ Jones and are finally giving Bo Nix a reliable tight end target in Evan Ingram. Their defense was already good and is now better, but the best part about this is that the draft hasn't even happened yet. The Broncos will look to get Bo Nix, a wide receiver too. The second team we have on board is the Chicago Bears. Excellent job from Ryan Poles for bringing in head coach Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions and finally giving Caleb Williams some protection. The Bears traded for one of the best left guards in the NFL, Joe Thuney, and then traded for Jonah Jackson from the Rams, who's going to be playing right guard. Then they went on to sign Drew Dalman, a center from the Atlanta Falcons, and a new leader for their defensive line, Grady Jarrett. Great signing for the Bears. Keeping it in the NFC North, the last team that improved during this free agency is the Minnesota Vikings. Their defense was already great, and then they signed Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargraves on the D-line to pair up with Jonathan Grenard and Dallas Turner on the outsides. It's unbelievable. And then they re-signed Byron Murphy and Harrison Smith to keep that DB core that was already good, and also signed a Super Bowl winner, cornerback Isaiah Rodgers, for 2 years. They balled out. Emma, a lot of other stuff has happened, and I know I missed a lot of other signings, but what's been your favorite?
Thanks, Barry. I was surprised that Davante Adams has moved again. After the break, we had the madness of Roundtable and another Playmakers mic'd up outing that you won't want to miss.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Now that we are nearing the end of March, the madness has only just begun. Let's turn to Case Spears, Jackson Reed, and Colton Kennan, who have been following along. Boys.
Thank you very much, Emma. We've got 4 tickets left to punch in the Elite Eight, and that brings us to the Friday slate of the Sweet 16. I've got Case Spears and Colton Kennan. Let's jump right into it. Colton, the game you brought to the table is Ole Miss and Michigan State. What catches your eye about this matchup?
Yeah, 2-seed Michigan State, 6-seed Ole Miss. This game, heavy favorites for Michigan State, but the last time Michigan State was favored against Chris Beard in the tournament, they lost to Texas Tech in the Final Four in 2019. Now, this game's a lot closer than I think people are going to give it credit for. Both teams averaging around 75 points a game in their last 10 games. But Ole Miss is pretty streaky. They dominated Iowa State for about pretty much the whole game and then dominated UNC for the first 36 minutes of that game before UNC ultimately almost came back. But Ole Miss has shooters, Sean Padula averaging 18 points in the tournament. The only thing is, if Ole Miss can stay in front of Michigan State's quick guards and Fears and Atkins, then I think Ole Miss has a good chance to beat Michigan State.
I agree with you there. Case, let's move it over. We have an SEC matchup in the Elite Eight. How good has the SEC been this year? 2-seed Tennessee, 3-seed Kentucky. What has your eye in this game?
Yeah, absolutely. The SEC has been absolutely dominant in college basketball so far, but what stands out to me in this matchup is the guard play. To take a look at Zakai Ziegler, he has been one of the best point guards in the nation. Offensively and defensively, he is the most scrappy player in college basketball right now. He'll get a hand on the ball.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And one thing that Rick Barnes does well is the transfer portal. We've seen coaches kind of die throughout it a little bit or haven't had as well of production as Rick Barnes, but he had Dalton Connect last year, and now he has Chaz Lanier, who is playing great for them.
Without a doubt.
And switching over to the Kentucky side of things, they also have terrific transfers in Otega Owe. He has been the best player on this Kentucky team since Jackson Robinson has been out. But I think in order to beat this Tennessee team, their big man, Williams, is going to have to play well for them.
Without a doubt. And if Kobe Bryant can hit the outside shot, it wouldn't shock me if Kentucky wins this game. All right, over to the 1-seed Houston and the 4-seed Purdue. And the X factor of this game, unfortunately, is not on a Houston player. I picked the Cougs to win it all this year. But the X factor is Trey Coffin-Wren from Purdue, guys. When Trey Coffin-Wren has it rolling, you saw what it looked like against High Point. Purdue, if they can play downhill and they play a two-man game of Braden Smith and Trey Coffin-Wren, they can really get it going. And it really takes the attention off of Braden Smith. And we all know Houston is really good at defending the guards, really good at playing defense. So I'm fascinated about how Kelvin Sampson and Houston defend Braden Smith, and is Juwan Roberts up for the task against Trey Coffin-Wren? I think they will be. I give the slight edge to Houston, but it wouldn't shock me if Trey Coffin-Wren has a 20-plus point game and Purdue pulls something crazy off. Now, final game, guys. Michigan and Auburn are going to meet each other. Another 1-seed, another SEC team. Colton, the question I have for you, can Auburn slow down the bigs of Michigan? Because that's been Michigan's bread and butter is their size, and can they keep that rolling?
Yeah, I think they can, because when you look at Michigan, Golden and Wolf don't really play inside together. They usually run a 4-out, 1-in with Golden inside. And Danny Wolf hasn't been that consistent from 3 this season, especially in the tournament. He's only made three threes in the tournament so far. So I think Broome will be able to handle Golden, and if they double it, I think it all falls on Pettiford or the other guards for Auburn if they can make outside shots.
100%. Case, over to you though. Do you have any faith in Michigan? Do you think Michigan can pull this off against Auburn? Auburn, an all-time bad vibes 1-seed. Like,
that is true.
They've lost 3 of their last 5 coming into the tournament. Is there a way Michigan pulls this off?
Well, you're asking the wrong guy here because I picked Auburn to win it all. But I think Auburn has been absolutely terrific shooting the ball.
They sure
Obviously, they have, in my opinion, the player of the year in Janiah Broome.
They do.
I think if Michigan is able to knock down their shots from the three-point line.
If Trey Donaldson can get it going, anything can
happen. Absolutely. But they're going to have to make their threes because I expect those bigs to get doubled today.
Without a doubt. All right, guys, thank you very much. We'll see what happens, and hopefully everyone's bracket stays intact through the Sweet 16. Emma Hale, back to you. The leader in the bracket challenge, back to you.
Thanks, boys. With my Florida Gators advancing last night, I'm looking to claim that back-to-back title. With March winding down, we turn the page to April, and that means it's baseball season. What better way to celebrate than with some Jeopardy? Let's see how Gabriel Steigers, Chad Cushing, Charlie Marshall, and Eli Greenwald do when it comes to testing their baseball knowledge.
Thanks, Emma. There are a lot of faces in new places as we head into the MLB season. We're going to see which one of these guys was paying the most attention over the course of the offseason. Going to be pretty simple, gentlemen. Chad's going to lead off. I'm going to give you a player. You'll have about 5 seconds to tell me where he's signed. If you don't, it'll pass to the left until someone or no one gets it. There's a tiebreaker in place, 3 rounds, 1 easy, 1 medium, 1 hard, increasing point values. So, Chad.
There you go.
Where did Paul Goldschmidt sign in the offseason?
Paul Goldschmidt, he's trying to revive his career in New York as a New York Yankee.
That is correct.
Yep.
Good
Short
work,
porch
Chad.
conversion
See a little
to the opposite
20
field.
home run
He's
Anthony
just an
Rizzo
indie-
season.
Yeah, well,
in the short porch in right field.
Yeah, you could do it. You could do it.
Charlie.
Yes.
Tanner Scott.
Tanner Scott, I just actually drafted him in fantasy baseball. Is going to be a great closer for the Dodgers this
That's
year.
right.
Give him a big contract,
Yes,
too.
I'm
Multiple
excited.
years for this guy.
Easy
They
round.
can-
Eli,
they sign
close it
everybody.
out.
They do sign everybody. True. We could
If
say
you-
that for.
if
They're probably
you
the
don't
answer.
know, just take a shot. No.
Dodgers.
Anthony Santander.
Toronto.
That's right.
Yeah.
The switch hitter.
Good job.
Panic there a
Okay,
little
good
bit.
first
Yeah,
round.
yeah,
That was a
Headed
good
to
I was like, I
Toronto.
was thinking.
No, you
I
knew
was,
it, though.
Yeah,
You knew it.
Toronto.
Yeah, I got you.
Medium.
Okay,
Chad.
let's do a game.
Nate Uvalde.
Nate Evaldi. He is back with Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Yep.
Little trick one there.
Yeah.
We'll
I see what you're trying to do there.
He
re-signed.
Yeah,
Okay, I was
re-signed.
confused. I thought it was
I
a
know.
Texas, but I was like, why is that?
Yeah, no, he
Okay.
re-signed.
He's
Yeah.
trying to get
That was
some
a
curveballs
little-
there.
yeah,
Trick us
okay,
a little
wow.
bit.
Keep your eye on the ball.
Charlie. Switch hitting Jorge Polanco.
Oh, that's crazy. He was in Seattle. I don't.
3,
I'll
2,
just go Seattle.
1. Seattle is
Yep,
correct.
back to back, yeah.
Another
re-sign.
re-sign.
He's trying to get all. He's trying to get all sly on
A little
us.
curveball
Chill out,
there.
Gabe. All right.
Eli. Where will Walker Buehler be pitching in
Oh, Boston.
2025?
There you
Boston
go.
is
All
correct.
Boston. Yeah, there we
Tough
go.
first
Gabe,
round.
look
for
at us,
Eli,
guys.
so
Good
We
round
are all
for us
tied
here.
up, headed into the hard round. Might need a tiebreaker, but Chad,
Yeah, he's gonna get crazy.
we'll see. Danny Jansen.
Danny Jansen.
Oh my God, I literally
The
watched the
catcher.
video.
He signed with Texas.
Texas is incorrect.
Oh, bummer.
Charlie.
Is it Boston?
Boston is incorrect.
I watched a video on this and I can't remember. He was with Toronto for so long.
Yep,
Did he-
that's what I thought of. With the goggles, right? The glasses.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna pull a shot in the dark here. I think it's wrong, but did he re-sign with the Blue Jays?
That is incorrect. I was looking for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oof, gosh,
We're all in the division.
that career is going to die right there. Welcome to the drought, baby.
Yeah, right, Tampa.
Okay, so none of us got any points here, right, Gabe?
No.
Okay.
No. Charlie,
Okay, here we
your
go.
hard opportunity. Austin Hayes.
Oh, I actually do know this. He's a Cincinnati Red.
Yeah, I
That
knew
is correct.
Wow, I did not
Good
know
work.
that.
I knew that one. That's a
I
good
heard
one.
This guy's a
Terry
ball
Francona
knower.
talking about.
Okay,
I was
yep,
protecting
Tito.
Ellie De La Cruz this year.
Good work. Charlie pulls into the lead, so it's Eli with a chance to tie.
Hey, Eli.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Here we
This
go.
might not be good.
Michael Lorenzen.
He re-signed with Kansas City, right?
That's correct.
Yeah!
Good work.
Yeah.
This guy loves Lorenzo. He talks about it all the time.
Angel, ex-angel.
All right. Well, here's how the tie's going to work, gentlemen.
Okay.
Charlie and Eli both going to get a player. I'll start
Okay.
with Charlie,
Okay.
and we'll just keep going until one of
we
you
go.
gets it right, one of you gets it wrong, or a steal happens. So, Charlie, Jose Leclerc.
Oh, he just signed. He signed. It was a bad team.
Do I
It
get
was
to
a
steal?
bad team. He signed with
3, 2, 1.
Oakland.
Oakland is correct.
Stop!
Oakland
Stop!
is correct.
Last second come to me. Last second find. I knew it was a bad team. It took me a second.
Absurd!
Wow.
How did you just do that?
Wow.
Unbelievable.
All right.
Shot in the dark.
Charlie,
Okay.
It's actually not.
or
Oakland
excuse me,
anymore.
Eli.
Yes.
Andrew Heaney.
He was with the Yankees and with Texas. Did
I
he?
think I know this one.
Did he-
3,
Texas?
2, 1. Texas is incorrect. Charlie steals
Pittsburgh,
it.
right?
Pittsburgh is correct.
All right.
No!
That's my consolation right there. That's that was a great round, though, guys.
That was a good one.
Well, congrats, Charlie. Good work, gentlemen. Thanks for coming, but that's it for us. And speaking of baseball season, we headed to the batting cages a few days ago, in fact. What happened there, Emma?
Thanks, boys. I'd say you all know your stuff, but the real test is seeing how you can perform when the pressure is on in the batting cages. The Playmakers team hit the cages. Will it be Chad and the girls or the guys? It's time to find out.
What's up, Playmakers? We're back for another little mic'd up side quest. We're here at D-Bat Lawrence. Chad, explain the rules. What's going on?
We're taking some batting practice. We got 2 teams split up, 5 people on each team. We each get 15 pitches. If you hit a ground ball, it's 1 point. You hit a line drive beneath the yellow line, it's 2 points. And anything above the yellow line is 3 points. You hit it hard enough. Kind of subjective, but what in baseball isn't subjective?
They say baseball is a subjective game.
It is indeed. We had fun doing it, so that's the best part about it.
Boom. Let's get to it. Welcome back to the important question. I got Lindsay Ryan here today. Lindsay, what would your walk-up song be?
Probably Dreams and Nightmares.
Oh, hold up, wait a minute.
Y'all thought I was. Wait, I'm really scared. Is it going? many do I have to do? How many? 15?
Ready.
I hit it.
Emma Noble, what would your walk-up song be?
My walk-up song would be Eye of the Tiger.
That's a good one. That's a good one. All right, guys, it's the important question. Today's guest is Lauren Ritchie. Lauren, what would your walk-up song be?
I feel like tequila just like makes sense here on the baseball diamond or whatever we're on.
Barely.
Bro, why am I hitting him up? Ow, this hurts.
All right, friends, welcome back to the important question. Today, the important question is, Sid, what would your walk-up song be?
Oh, Gangster's Paradise.
Oh, that's a good one.
Man, I'm getting old.
His guest is Chad Cushing. Chad, what would your walk-up song be?
My walk-up song would be Let's Fall to Pieces Together by George Strait.
Oh.
This is tiring.
I know, it's tiring.
There we go.
Welcome back to the important question. Today's guest is Barry Anderson. Barry, what would your walk-up song be?
Mo Chicken by Bossman D-Lo and French Montana.
I don't know that song.
Bear, you're gripping that thing like it owes you money, man. Calm down, man.
Come on, bro.
Go Bear.
Oh my God!
Welcome back to the important question. Today's guest is Jake Feitner, tall gentleman. Jake, what would your walk-up song be?
God's Country by Blake Shelton.
Ooh.
Hey, stay on your backside, man.
More backside? Nah.
Welcome back to the important question today. I'm here with Eli Greenwald, the birthday boy. Turns 19 today. Doesn't matter. What would your walk-up song be?
Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses.
Okay, not a bad one.
She's got eyes and it seems to me reminds me of childhood memories.
Welcome back to the important question. Today's guest is myself. My walk-up song would be Your Love by The Outfield.
One more ball.
That was really bad.
You're still going.
Get there.
I wasn't, but you said one more ball. Welcome back to the important question. Our final contestant is Gabe Steigers. Gabe, what would your walk-up song be?
Be The Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani featuring Akon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Come on, Gabe. I don't know what the score is. That might have saved it.
All right, I am here, the videographer, to announce who we have winning today. The boys, 189 total points.
Pretty good. That's good.
We won.
I don't like that we got red first. Yeah, I don't like that we got red first. I won't lie. I don't like that.
Chad and the ladies put up 192 points as our winners.
What do you have to say?
I am proud of the adjustments that we made. Very baseball terminology, but the adjustments we made in our second round, everyone doubled their scores and got some more points. I'm proud of all these girls, man. No, they were making solid contact. These guys were trying to hit it for the fences every single time. My team was hitting smooth, straight to the ball. Contact, that's how you win games right there.
Let's go, team, let's go, yeah!
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Hold up, wait a minute.
Y'all thought I was
Shout out to my girls in Chad. Well played. That's all for this week's edition of Playmakers. Be sure to follow us on social media at PlaymakersKU to find all our content on the sports world as we see it. Stay tuned for Run It Back on Mondays at 1 p.m. for all the game results happening over the weekend. And Good Morning KU Sports on Friday mornings at 10:30 for more sports talk. And remember, it's not about the game you played, but the plays you made. Rock chalk, and we'll see you next time.